Three, two, one.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Joensin 4 show. Today we have an energized episode for you. We have an episode that's going to blow your freaking mind. It's going to be so cool. We have American Ninja Warrior here with us today. Titan Game star, fitness guru, real estate agent, and all-around awesome, energized agent. We have Westley Silvestri with us today. Thank you so much for being here, Wesley.
Sure, that's an intro right there. I love that. I can dig that. That is amazing.
Well, dude, you're an awesome guy. And we are so pumped to have you here and sharing your story and your message with all of us. So cool. So tell us about yourself. Like, who are you? For people that have no idea, which is really sad, how, who are you and what should they know about you?
Dude, such an ambiguous one. It's like, where do I start? This is like the toot your own horn part where I don't like it. Listen, I love attention, but it's like, brag about yourself. It's like, ugh.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I could guide you if you really want, but
No, we can start back at the beginning. I have really three passions in life. It's fitness, real estate, and comedy. And for those people that don't know, I used to do stand-up comedy way back in the day. I got fired from my job, and I just thought I went down to a show. I watched Dane Cook perform,
nice.
and I just saw this guy on stage telling stories, and I was like, I could do that. And so I went down to an open mic, and I became so addicted because I don't do drugs, I don't drink, but there's something about being on stage and getting a room full of strangers to laugh. It's so addicting. It's the biggest high ever. To get a room of like 1,500 people to laugh, it's insane. So there was that. Fitness. I just believe in being healthy. I don't take pills. I don't think you should medicate yourself. I think that just getting inside here and working on yourself is the best form of medicine ever. That's with the health part. And then the real estate, I bought my first house when I was 18. I graduated high school and I moved out to New Mexico. Side note, if you've ever been to New Mexico, I apologize. Ugh. Million-acre cat box. I'm sure I might get some grief from this. I don't care. Yeah, it's awful. It's terrible. But that house cost me like 14 goats to buy. So I was like, yeah, I'll do this. So
I can afford 14 goats. We can do that.
So anyway, I got the house out there, and when I was in college, I just thought to myself, I could live in the dorms and pay this much money, or I could buy a house and pay this much money and then rent out the other two rooms. So why wouldn't I do that? And when I was done with school, came back to California, bought my first property out here, then found a renter for that, bought my second property, and then I have rental property, and I love it. I truly believe in real estate. I believe in owning a piece of the rock.
Dude, that's awesome, and I'm a big believer in having real estate of some type or form. My wife and I rented when we first went and got into college, and it was fine, but it seemed like you're just washing money down the drain. At least that's how it felt to us. And we thought, let's finally buy a place. So we stayed with our parents to save up, and then we were able to buy our own house and have all that. And we've looked at renting places and doing that, buying a place and renting it out. It just didn't seem to quite fit with us and what we're going, but I applaud everyone that does. I know you do. I have friends that do as well, and I mean it's awesome. You're helping people.
What you just said there, you lived with their parents, right? So
right.
that little itty bitty thing of sacrifice leads to long-term gain. So
Huge.
It's massive, man. People hate to be uncomfortable, and it's like uncomfort is what makes you grow. Dude, people out here in California, it's 105 degrees today. No one likes to be hot. I'm in a sweatshirt, okay? Sweating it out. I live for uncomfortable. Like, people getting on stage and talking in front of people, that freaks other people out. I love it. I thrive on that. And you have to get away from the I'm nervous and replace it with I'm excited. It's the same emotion. If you can just trigger your mind to think, I'm not nervous, I'm excited. For whatever's about to happen, I'm excited for it. That's the jitters you're feeling, because I have so much passion about it that I'm excited to unleash this upon. I just flicked myself. I have ADD.
Dude, we're scary in the same room when we get together because we're the same with that. And I'm totally on board with you with being nervous, and you need to get outside your comfort zone, no matter what it is. Anything in life, you have to step outside because that's where you learn, that's where you grow, that's where you improve. And that's one thing I preach all the time to the Joensin tribe is step outside that comfort zone because that's where you learn and grow. And I love the fact you mentioned you get nervous, and that's just excitement. I don't know if you know this about me, right? So I was a choir director for 9 years, and what I did to do that was piano is my main instrument. I go out and I perform, and I love doing that. And you go out on stage, you get nervous to go out on stage. And my professor told me one thing that has stuck with me, and that is, if you're nervous, that means you care, right? You have that energy because you put passion and caring into that. So anytime I get nervous, I still do when I go out and I play piano, or I'm directing a choir, or I go out and talk in front of thousands of people. Yeah, I get nervous, but usually for me, as soon as I open my mouth and the first word comes out, then it's like, oh, I'm comfortable again. I stepped outside my comfort zone, but I know that I care with it. And then I keep pushing. And, the goal is to get to an even bigger audience to help and grow myself, but also help them with it. So, so real estate, man. So you got into it in college, and you got moved back to California and let it grow. So what's happening with you now? What's happening with real estate? How you working?
I got my real estate license in 2015,
Okay.
and the first month. So the average, I don't know if you guys know this, the average real estate agent only sells 4 homes a year. Okay, that's it.
Wow.
I got my license, and I have professional ADD. I ended up selling 5 homes my first month.
Huh.
And I've gone on to sell over $60 million in real estate.
Wow.
And I have to have 19 plates spinning at once because that's just how my brain works. Like, I want my plate to be so full, because if it's empty, I go insane. You can ask my wife. My cat hates me when I have nothing to do. So it's just better for the organization if I'm constantly being productive. There's a difference between being busy and being productive. So just, I have to go pick up the dry cleaning and I have to drop these letters off. That's not productive. That's busy. You're just doing things. You have to make sure that you're focused and you're on track. Like this right here, this is my to-do list for today. So what I do, every morning, I write down what I have to do, and I can physically check it off the list. And it just makes you feel like you're accomplishing things. It's like, okay, done. 2 more to go. It's just like doing reps in the gym. You have 3 sets, just check them off as you go. It makes you feel like you're doing something more. And that's.
So let me ask you this question. My checklist, I have a daily checklist too. It's in the other room, and I do the same thing, check it off every day. So let me ask you this. Is the to-do list the key from going just from being busy to being productive, or are there other things that people can do to make that transition?
No, the checklist is more to keep me focused because, like we were talking about before we even jumped on here, I quadruple book myself all the time. And so it just allows me, okay, from 1 to 1:30, I got this. From 1:45 to 2:15, I got that. And it just allows me to not double book myself, but I still have it anyway. It's just what it is. But learning just to be productive is really, it takes time to block out the unnecessary. Like, there's things that you just don't have to do. And for a lot of people, it's TV. Do you really have to watch 2 hours of The Bachelor? Wife? No, you don't.
Yeah, you'll get slapped for that one later.
Yeah. So it's just trying to stay on point as possible. It's just, dude, it's the old saying. It's like the pirates needed a map to the treasure chest, right? So you just have to stay on point the entire time as you go. Adjust when needed, but for the most part, stay on point.
Well, and I think that's huge, right? To stay on point, to make sure you know where you're going, right? So you have your goals, you have things set for, so you have a destination that you're going to, but then, avoiding the distractions. It's not that watching TV is bad or doing other things, but you have to plan it in your day so that you realize, okay, do I really need 2 hours, or is this hour or half hour or whatever, is that going to be enough for me? Do I have to be on Facebook all day long? And I'll be perfectly honest, that's my downfall. Social media is one thing I struggle with, and I'm getting better, but it's one of the things where I have to set it aside and go, nope, it's not a priority. I know what my priorities are. That's working on this checklist. That's doing this, doing that to make sure the business grows, helping people, whatever it is for that day. That it's having those to-do lists, staying focused on it, and not allowing myself to be distracted by things that aren't important to me or the list. So let's transition this, man. So you mentioned you're always fit, and I heard and saw videos of you doing stuff with American Ninja Warrior, which is freaking awesome. First of all, I applied for that for the first time last year after seeing you apply, and then I also applied for Titan Games last year. That was cool. And didn't get in, but I'm excited to, if they do another round, hopefully it will apply again, or I will apply again, and we'll see what happens up there. But talk to us about how you got started. You're always fit, but how did you just keep challenging yourself and stepping outside your comfort zone every day? Is that how you got there, or what's your story with that?
First and foremost, this is a golfer's body, so not bragging. But yeah, I got into it because the true story is my roommate passed away tragically just one night in his sleep. He died of cardiomyopathy, and I walked in and found him, and he was only 34 years old, and he had the rest of his life ahead of him. During the last couple of months of his life, he was trying so hard to become fully sober. So he went through a horrible breakup, and he had to move back to New Jersey. He goes, dude, I can't live here anymore. It's just too expensive. I said, listen, I just bought a house out here. I have spare room. I don't need it. So just why don't you come live with me? You can pay whatever you want, whatever you can afford. And so he moved in, and he saw that I was just this sober. I have more fun sober than drunk people do drunk. So nice. Anybody who goes, how do you do it sober? Come hang out with me for 2 or 3 days, and you'll see that you can have more fun sober because you can remember these things.
Exactly.
Anywho, so he moves in. He goes, dude, I got to get my life together. He ends up doing this. Oh, what's that workout program? I think you know it. Is it that P90X thing? Okay,
I might have heard of that thing. I don't know. It might be something.
Yeah. So he's down in the garage doing this thing, and I go, what is that? He goes, oh, it's just this guy on TV, and it's really motivating, and I'm going to do it for the 90 days. I go, okay, cool, I'll do it with you. Because I was always in shape, but I never was fully dedicated to it.
Gotcha.
Like I said, this is the golfer's body. I grew up playing golf the entire time, so I was always on the golf course doing that. So anyway, I jumped down with him. We started doing P90X, and then he registers to run the LA Marathon on his 100th day of sobriety. And to do that, to train for it, he would sign up for every mud run in Southern California. We're talking like the Grit and the what's it called, the Manic Rugged Maniac or whatever. And then he signed up for a Spartan race. I don't know if you've ever done one, but I had never done one because I'm not a runner. I'm a power walker at best.
I've never done a Spartan race. Tough Mudders, I've done 5 of them, but not a Spartan one. So.
Okay, so I after he passes away, I see that in his emails that he had signed up for a Spartan, right, kind of in town, and I go, man, I'm doing it. I'm going to take his number. I'm going to go down there, and so I wrote his name on my back, and I take off. And of course, Spartans have the shorter one and the longer one, and of course he signed up for the longer one. Why would? So I have to jump into the deep end.
Oh.
And I get there, and the group that he was running with, they just go, yeah, we're just doing the shorter one. You're going to go do the long run. So I have to run this Spartan with his name on my back, crying, muddy, bloody, because the barbed wire got me. Okay? Mm-hmm. I have no idea what I'm in for. And so they released people in heats. So I'm not really fast, but I was just faster than that group. So I had gotten ahead of my group, but I hadn't caught up with the group ahead of me yet. So as I go to cross the finish line, it's only me. As I go across the finish line, the lady, the little volunteer, she puts the medal around my neck. Mm-hmm. I break down. I'm covered in mud, and I hold it. I look up to the heavens, and I'm just like, we did it, man. We did it. And I looked down, and she had accidentally given me 2 medals, and I lost it. I was just like, he's with me right now. And
wow.
I look around, and there was just 5,000 sober people who just accomplished this thing. And I was like, dude, these are my people. And I started walking around just chatting people up. And this guy goes, we do a lot of these. You should try and sign up for more of these. So I go home that night, and I don't know if you're familiar with Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's got a YouTube video called The Guru. It's like one of the most popular YouTube videos ever.
Right.
And he tells this story, this metaphorical story about this kid going down to the beach to meet this guru. And I take it literally. I go, I have a beach. Santa Monica's like right there. I'll just go down to Santa Monica and I'll do the same thing. So I go down there, and my goal for real estate is to talk to 3 people a day. Don't ask them, hey, you want to buy a house? It's just simply, hey, what's your name? Where do you live? Whatever.
Right.
As I go down there, I talk to this one guy, and he tells me his story. I tell him my story. He goes, dude, you need to go check out American Ninja Warrior. What's that? Oh, it's a TV show. You're going to love it. Okay, so I check it out. I submit an audition tape. I don't get on. The producer calls me. This is season 7, I believe. 7. Producer calls me and goes, hey, you didn't get cast this season, but we would love to have you come down and test if you would like to. I don't know if you've ever tested before.
No.
It's a whole different can of worms. So they go, come down at this time and you can run the course, whatever. We're testing the obstacles.
Cool.
So I get down there, and all the testers, they look like they were going camping for a week. Okay, they have backpack, they have supplies, they have change of clothes, they have tents, they have everything. I show up like this. Just myself. And the producer goes, oh, somebody's cocky and confident. I go, no, I'm just dumb. I didn't read the email.
Oh.
So he goes, all right, let's do full course runs. Wes, why don't you go first? And I go, of course. I would love it. So 3, 2, 1, go. I get up on the starting line. I finish the course testing, and I was so torn. Part of me was like, oh my God, I got to touch this playground. I'm so excited. The other part of me was like, why didn't I get picked? I'm supposed to be here. I know I can do this. I showed you I can do it. Bah! And that was it. And I go home. And my good friend had made me, I don't know if you know this or not, I have an inner fat kid that I have to like control and suppress. And to celebrate, she had made me this 7-layer fudge, brownie, chocolate, Heath bar, marshmallow, you name it, it was in it. And I ate this whole thing like I just got broken up with. Okay, so I'm sitting on the couch just, they didn't pick me for Ninja. I'm so good. Why?
Oh my God, yes.
And like a sitcom, I finished the last bite. I ate until I hated myself, okay? I finished the last bite. I put the spoon in the bowl. I put the bowl down, this big. I put the bowl down, and as I lean back, my phone rings. It's the same producer. He goes, Wes, you did so good today. Did you want to come back and test tomorrow? I go, I would love to. Everywhere.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, there was that. Then went back, did well again. And then the next season, still didn't get on, but I did the walk-on line this time because they had told me about the walk-on line. I go down there, I wait 17 days in the walk-on line, and I'm number 8, Kobe Bryant. And all of a sudden I watch 7 people in front of me fall, and the producer walks me up and goes, hey, why don't you go be the first one to hit the buzzer? And I go, all right, game on. And I was the first one to hit the buzzer in LA.
Wow, that's awesome.
Setting goals. Set your goals higher, because that season I said I wanted to hit a buzzer, and I hit a buzzer. The very next night I went out on the second stupid obstacle. I was just like, I should have reassessed my goals. But yeah, there was that. It's so addicting, man, to get up there. And as a walk-on, I had no friends and family with me because you don't know if you're running. So by the time you're in the line, they don't tell you if they're going to run the competitors first and then let the walk-ons run. They're going to have the walk-ons run first as like guinea pigs. They don't tell you anything. So from the time it was, Wes, you're officially going to go, to me on the course, it was like 25 minutes. And so I couldn't call my wife or my family or anything. So I get up on the starting line, 3, 2, 1, go. I get up to the top of the warp wall, and it just, the floodgates opened. I felt my dead roommate, my wife who lets me do all these crazy things. I thought about my cat. I thought about my parents. I thought about I was like, none of them are here to share this experience. But the community just supports you so much, because unlike all other sports, it's you versus me. I'm going to beat you. You're going to try and beat me. That's it. We're going head to head. But in Ninja, it's us versus the course. It's how well can we beat that thing until the very end, where it's a race up to the final thing. But for the most part, it's one layout. Doesn't change for guys and girls. how well can we all do as humans versus this monster of an obstacle course.
Exactly. You
So
have that challenge there. You have that beast, that animal there, and everyone works together and helps each other get across that in some way, shape, or form.
that's it.
Heck yeah, man, dude, that's an incredible story to get on there. So have you been on there other times, or is that it, or do you test
Yeah,
things out
I've been on
still?
the last 3 seasons,
Okay.
and I live my life by one little quote. It's all about progression, not perfection. And every year, I have progressively gotten better and better. So I've gotten further and further. This past season was my best season. I made it to the city finals all 3 seasons, but last year I missed Vegas by one spot, and it was
Oh,
just heartbreaking. But it I it allowed me to bring my whole family over, my wife's family, and to just share that moment with them was priceless, man. It was so good. So I can't wait to go back if they'll allow me. We just got to submit a video every single year, so
right.
I would love to get back there. But for the other shows like Titan Games and Million Dollar Mile and all that, that same company builds the rigs for all these shows, and
Hmm.
you're contracted to only do one show, but they'll invite you to test others unless
Oh,
they
okay.
be on the show. So like Jesse Graff was on Titan Games this year, right?
Right.
Special
Saw
invite.
that.
They're so different. Like Ninja is
Totally
fast
different.
and grip oriented. Titan Games is just endurance, strength, stamina. It's a monster. But they've they allow us to test all these other shows, and it's I jump at those opportunities because so many people around the nation are just like, I would love to do that. And for them to just train in our backyard out here, you can't say no, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the huge advantages of living out where you do is so many of those things are right in your backyard. But
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, depending where you live, just look for those opportunities. Keep your ears open. Talk with people because there's a lot of things, especially now with the internet being what it is, and you could film almost anywhere. Anywhere you are in the country, there's things happening around you, so you can participate and be part of those things, which is awesome.
Yeah. And if they're not around you, you can make it happen. Like before, there was no ninja gyms out here. And so what I did personally, I came up with Ninja Beach. So I would go down and I would literally build 25 different obstacles and I
Wow.
would load them down to the beach every single Saturday, every single Sunday, set them up on the rig, and I would run little ninja competitions because there was nowhere to train around here for that thing. And it was great.
So I mean, I saw that in one of the videos you shared with me, and we'll put those videos in the show notes for folks, which you can go to Spencer M. Jones and get that. But how did you? So you created it? Did you just go down to the beach, set it up, and do it for yourself, and then people were like, "Holy crap, look at that! I want to do it," or what?
Yes, did I literally it started out as just a way for me to train
Yep.
and then turned into this thing. Like we would just have passerbys just go, "Oh, that's Ninja Warrior. We should go do it." And then it turned into just this chaos where I'm just lifting kids up to the obstacle. Well, it was just a shoulder workout. So it went from me being able to work out all the technical stuff that I needed
Right.
to just helping kids for 3 hours.
Mhm.
Put them up, put them down, put them up, put them down. And then it just got too big to where I couldn't work out. And so it affected how I was training for it. So it was sad. Like I don't like not being able to do that for people, but they have to realize in order for me to get better and achieve my ultimate goal, which is to win, I
Right.
have to go put in the time and the energy to train, which has been
So
great meeting Tony Horton. So he's got that he's like the Willy Wonka of fitness up on the hill. He's got everything in his place. And so for him to open his door and allow me to train with him has been absolutely mind blowing.
so is that how you met Tony Horton? He saw your ninja stuff on the beach,
Oh
and
man, okay, Tony. That story. It went from an email. It was, hey, I saw you training on this ninja rig. I didn't know what is in his house because for those of you who don't know, he's got a whole uh, gauntlet in his backyard. And so we shoot him an email. Hey, I was on Ninja Warrior the last 3 seasons. I would love to come train with you. I've done P90X. And he responds back, what are you doing Sunday? I go, he goes, you want to come work out with us? And I go, I would love to. Show up, being a real estate agent, I am insanely punctual. So I get there 15 minutes early. I ring the doorbell. I get to his house, by the way, and the real estate agent in me was like, I got to sell one of these. This is so impressive. But anyway, I get there to the gate, I push the button, and that voice comes over the intercom. Good morning. I go, morning. Who is this? It's Wesley. Wesley who? From the internet. I just,
That's awesome.
I'm here to work out, I think. He goes, all right, come on in, go to the right. So I go into this house and I'm in awe. I was just like, oh my God, this is everything that I'm shooting for and aspiring for. So I get there, and as I'm introducing myself to the guys, all of a sudden he comes out and I go, whoa, dude, I expected him to be taller. Just kidding.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he's amazing. He's a total mentor and great friend. And yeah, I love him to death.
I was so lucky to go out there, and in June, my wife and I attended his Paragon camp, and we met you there, which is really cool to finally get to meet you in person after following you for a while, and meeting Tony and getting to play on that contraption in his backyard, the one that actually inspired me to build mine. That's in my backyard, to push and fail and go after those goals. So now you offer, you're not doing the Ninja Sundays anymore, but you have the Saturday workout that you're doing for folks, and it's grown so much. So if you can, walk us through real quick of, why you started it, what's involved, and what gets people interested in it.
Coronavirus is the son of a bitch. Okay? Yeah, I'm trying just to stay as active as possible. And I'm not a doctor by any means, but I have read that UV light kills this thing. And so I thought, okay, well, if my gym is closed and my climbing gym is closed, I don't want to be indoors anyway. I might as well take my fitness outside. And what I've done is I sanitize all the equipment. People wear their masks. And if you want to wear gloves, you're more than welcome to. We try and keep a social distance, but it started with just me and 3 buddies going out, and I would set up some courses, some brutal Spartan-like obstacle courses, and just through word of mouth. I call it like the most motivational fight club, because I don't want you to not talk about it. I want you to talk about it. And we run off of simply a donation-based system where it doesn't cost anything, but if you want to throw in $20, because a soul cycle class where you're just sitting there pedaling a bike is $30. Right. This is way more fun, and I put the money right back into the project. So I'll buy more equipment, I'll buy new toys, I'll keep it fun. None of the workouts are ever the same. They're always different. And what I do is I simply send you a link to a location. I don't tell you what the workout is. I don't tell you how long it's going to be. I just simply say, be here at this time and show up, and it's grown exponentially. So like I said, it started with 3 people, and then every week we seem to grow more and more. And last week we had almost 30 people there.
Wow.
So don't get mad at me for social distance or whatever. But anyway, the last time we were there, we actually had part of the thing was over in Malibu, and I made people climb the dune or the rock.
Nice.
So I rock climbed in. People had never rock climbed in their life before. I have them 80 feet up on this mountain.
Yes.
This guy gets to the top, and you can see him shaking from the ground. Okay, He was only supposed to go like 30 feet. He goes, what's my goal? I go, you're going to get to this ledge right here, and that's like super easy beginner. You're going to be good to go. If you want to come back down from there, more power to you. He blasts past that, keeps on going all the way to the top. He is not a rock climber, has never climbed before in his life. Gets all the way to the top. There are seagulls screaming. There's sea lions down on the beach. We're right on the ocean. It's the most picturesque thing ever.
Yes.
He comes down and he hugs me. I go, well, I couldn't avoid it. So he throws a hug on me. He goes, dude, that was life-changing. And I go, see, right there, that is why we do these things. It's just to push people out of their comfort zone. Because you can take that onto your next week. It's like, if I have to sit on a conference call or a Zoom call and listen to people, it's like, dude, I can do that any day of the week because I've accomplished this ridiculously hard thing already. So I like to stack my week. I like to make sure that Saturday and Sunday are the hardest parts of my week. Nice. But the rest of the time, it's like, this is cake. What am I going to do? Listen to a client yell at me for a while? I can do this. Just, yes, sir. No, sir. I understand, sir. All right. Have you ever been up on a V12? It's like,
Dude, that is so cool. It's so inspirational to hear, and that gentleman who climbed up, and just everyone who did that, just his days made, his weeks made, his month, and now because he stepped outside his comfort zone, and you were there, to encourage and help him with it. Now he's grown, he's improved so much, and maybe he'll be back this next weekend and try something else new.
He
So
texted me, he goes, I bought rock climbing shoes. I go, perfect. Dude, he drank the juice. He's in.
yeah, he's in. Dude, that happens all the time. When I get people on the ninja course here and they try it, they're cursing and swearing at me, and then they come back again and do it again and get one time better. Something's a little better every time, and just keep improving.
It's all about progression. That's the whole thing. But dude, there's nothing more exciting than to see the look on someone's face when they bought their first home or when they've accomplished their first obstacle race. They're like, dude, I did a thing. I saved up this monumental amount of money.
Yep.
And bought my first home. I worked my ass off to prepare for this race, and I crossed the finish line. Like those are what make my heart smile.
It's amazing. And for me, it's not quite as big as that. So what I told people when I interviewed for teaching jobs, and because it's very true for me, is like, I love to see it when kids get that aha moment, when all of a sudden they're struggling, and then it clicks, right? All of a sudden, like, life opens up to them. So, but that goes for students, still get, goosebumps when I see that, but also people with training, with the ninja course, with just pushing themselves. They're working towards a goal, or they don't think they can do it. And all of a sudden, bam, everything clicks and it makes sense. The world's open up to them for that moment in that area or arena. And you're just like, that's what it's about. That makes me happier than anything, just to see them have things click.
When I was down at Santa Monica doing Ninja Beach, the kids love it, right? They have a great time. But what really got me is when the kids' parents would do the course and the kids would look at them like, oh my God, my dad's a superhero. Because back in the day, it was my dad can beat up your dad. But now it's like, can your dad do a Lachey? Can your dad do this ninja course? My dad can. My dad's a superhero. Like, that's what I love. So that's what gets me.
So cool. So helping people now, you're stepping outside the comfort zone. That's one thing that you've mentioned earlier, right? You need to step outside your comfort zone. It's about progress, right? You need to keep going forward. How can people do that? What's the best way for them that you can offer, at least to help them step outside their comfort zone regularly, to see the progress and not just be at a standstill?
Two things. Number one, stop watching the news. Okay, the news is they're going to start by saying good evening, and then they're going to tell you exactly why it hasn't been a good evening. All right. Number two is stop comparing yourself to others. Stop scrolling through Instagram, seeing these Bentleys and these Rolls Royces and these billion-dollar homes. Knock that shit off. Okay. I don't pay your bills. You don't raise my cat. Just let it go. All right. Just keep focusing on you and your progress. No one has ever given their best and not gotten better. They don't get better because they quit. Like through real estate, there has been some deals where I wake up in the morning and I just go, why am I doing this? But I kick that idea out. I let that sink in for about 5 minutes, and then I have this. Have you ever seen curling in the Olympics?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So my curling theory in life, you have this puck of problems and you're holding on to it and it's weighing you down. All you have to do is not make a big deal about it. It's just simply get ready and you just let it go. There it goes. It just drifts away and you become lighter and you become better and your problems just drift away. Let it go. I'm a firm believer in just letting the chips fall where they may. Because there's two things in life. There's problems, right? There's either solutions to those problems and you don't have to worry about it, or
right.
There's no solutions to the problem, in which case you shouldn't worry about it. So just let it go. Just keep focusing on you and just keep getting better in whatever avenue in life that you're going down.
So whatever passion you're chasing, whatever's holding you back, whatever's being your anchor, just let it go. Let it drift off. And because you don't need that weight in life. You don't need that stuff holding you down anymore. Let it go.
It doesn't matter how, and the big key is not exploding. Like I had a really rough relationship with my mom, right? And so for the longest time, we would just yell at each other back and forth. until finally I just go, I'm gonna let this one go. And then finally, after a year, she came back and we've amended, and it's been better than ever. But it's only because I was able to step back and just go, okay, this is out of my control. This is all on her. I'm just gonna let this go. And like a butterfly, she just came right on back. So
it takes a lot of strength, I think, for a person to realize that, because I don't know, as kids, or what we see kids do is that they want to hold on to, that grudge, or they want to hold on to that anger, that frustration. But if you really want to grow, if you want to improve your life, you have to be the bigger person and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm letting it go. It doesn't need to concern me. And if it comes back, great. If it doesn't, great. You let it go, right? You let all that stuff go and out to the world. And then you're open to more positivity, the better life, all the gratitudes and all those great things in the world you're now able to do, because you're not holding yourself back with that anymore.
Dude, you got to go full Frozen on the situation and just let that song play and just let it go. I'm not going to sing it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, unless you really want to, but other than that, I think we're good. This has been an incredible show. Thank you so much for being part of the show.
Oh my God.
Oh, you know, I mean, we could keep talking for hours here.
Round 2. We'll do this again.
Yes, definitely. We will have you back on the show. Where can people learn more about you, your Energized agent, see you rocking ninja stuff, selling houses, you know, and, you know, if they go out to California, want to buy a house, how can they learn more about you and find you?
You can search me at energizedagent.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Westley Silvestri. You can check out my YouTube channel, Energized Agent. You can follow me on Facebook. You can stalk me or whatever it is you want to do. I take it as a compliment.
Perfect. That's how you should take stalkers. All compliments, right? You're just that awesome. They want to be around you. So, folks, we will have those links in the show notes as well. If you didn't catch that all, to get the show notes, just go to spencermjones.com, find the Jones and Four Show, and then click on this episode, and you will get all that good stuff. We'll get what we talked about, plus all the links to all of his social media, and you can just follow him, stalk him. It would be amazing. And, you know, let us know, maybe not stalking, but that's up to you. Let us know what you think about this show, if you liked it, what you liked, and questions you have for him, because, you know, we're going to get Westley back here, and we're going to do this again, and, you know, let's answer your questions.
Answer.
What was that?
Let's do that. Let's do question and answer next time.
Perfect.
Questions. Let's answer those.
Questions, answers next time he's on the show. But to do that, we need your questions, folks. So submit them to me. You can email them to me, message them to me, whatever works for you. We will get those, and we'll do this again. So until next time, folks, Westley, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely, man.
And until next time, folks, we will catch you all later.